Yes, Lord, I'm standing on holy ground. I was lost and all alone, walking down a road of stone. Then I heard his gentle sound. Now I'm standing on holy ground. I'm standing on holy ground where peace and grace abound. My heart was blind, but now it's found. I'm standing.
Excellencies, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much this morning for joining us on this very momentous occasion. Please accept our apologies that we are a few minutes behind the original schedule. We apologize very sincerely for that. But nonetheless, we thank you for your patience. We welcome you with us in this hall this morning for this very gracious event, which is a twin event in the context that it celebrates the lifetimes of our beloved brother, friend, colleague, Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, and of course the public presentation of a book project he initiated and drove very deep before he left us. So those are the reasons that we're gathered here. Thank you very much for your goodwill, for your kindness, for your attention, and for your presence in the hall this morning. We're grateful to. We are starting the event right away, and we will be observing the national anthem alongside the opening prayer for the event. The two will go on hand in hand. We are adopting the third stanza of the national anthem as our opening prayer. Tunde Benjamin's Lani will be please helping us to lead that exercise. Pastor, sir, thank you.
Thank you. So may we rise to do the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Nigeria may be blessed.
O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this special moment and for the grace to gather for the launch of Buni Boy. We thank you for the life and experiences of Sister Letitia Ayoola's late husband, Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Whose journey inspired this book, and also for the strength that you gave your daughter, Sister Letitia Ayoola-Daniels, to turn pain into purpose. Lord, we ask that your presence fill this place. Let this book bring healing. Let this book bring understanding. Let this book bring transformation and positive change to everyone who will come across its materials. Let it also bring a positive national and generational change. Bless Sister Letitia Ayoola-Daniels for her courage, and let this book honor her husband's memory and inspire everyone who read these pages. Please, Lord, take absolute control of today's event, and let all we do bring glory and blessing to humanity. In the precious name of Jesus Christ, I pray.
Thank you very much, sir. Pastor Benjamin Slani. And that's done for the open prayer. I will not like to inconvenience our distinguished guests any further by asking that we rise again. But then can we please for 1 minute bow our heads in remembrance and respect to the author of the book for which we are gathered this morning. Just 1 minute. And may his illustrious soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, honorable ministers. Again, we would like to thank you for your presence with us this morning. I'd like to quickly just observe as we start on this event that what we are gathered to do this morning is to honor the life and the times of Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, who's gone to be with the Lord according to the wisdom and the counsel of the maker of all things. But then he left footprints and landmarks, one of which is the book that we're about to launch. But then I'd like to quickly say that we want to be very deliberate in this event by making sure we are on top of things and that things are not on top of us. What I mean is that we want to be deliberate about the mood and the atmosphere of the hall and of the event. To that degree, please let me say that we do not have mournful hearts instead of the fact that our brother has been called home by God in the full dispensation of time. The Bible says that can a thing that is made say to who made it, why have you made me thus? So we have no complaint, we have no problems with his transition. It is the will of God, and may his will continue to be done. So we are grateful to God for all things, and we don't have a problem. So therefore, please, let's just switch on the positive mood and ensure that we make this as vibrant as possible to the memory of his illustrious name. Those who know him know that he is forever effervescent, vibrant, elastic, always very positive. Please, let's also uphold those values today in respect of his name. That's the mood that we will like to adopt. If we all agree, can we say an A? Thank you very much. So that's our standpoint. Quickly now, I'd like to make some quick introductions. The assembly of dignitaries in this hall this moment, I must confess up front, is certainly intimidating. But the joy we have is that we are very comfortable with most of them, and therefore we know we are safe in their hands. So I'd like to welcome you all. First of all, please permit me to welcome the chairman of this event. We are gathered under the chairmanship of our beloved father, Baba Ashiwaju Solomon Adegboyega Woman-Law, S.A.N. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Baba. Baba Woman-Law served in the NYC in 1978 in Kwara State. And one thing stood out significantly in that exposure, which is the fact that at the end of the exercise, Baba Woman-Law was voted as the best copper of the year. So you would see that his excellence is a private culture and not one that began yesterday. It's been a lifestyle. Thank you, sir, for being with us this morning, sir, for accepting to chair this event. He's the 52nd chair of the body of benchers in Nigeria, and he's a preacher of the gospel, a child of God. He's our father, but he's also a child at the same time. A child of God. Thank you, sir. Quickly, I'd like to also recognize this member of the 1998 class of SANs, illustrious careerist of the legal profession, and by God's grace today, the Attorney General of the Nigerian Federation and Honorable Minister of Justice. He is a full-blooded and blue-blooded royal prince by natural right. And so this morning, please join me to receive and welcome our beloved Honorable Minister, Barrister Latif Olasunkami Fagbemi, SAN, sir. We are also blessed this morning in this graceful occasion to have the presence of former Attorney General of the Federation and also Honorable Minister of Justice, a distinguished senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Akin Olujimi, sir. We also have with us a former military administrator of Lagos State, a retired general of the Nigerian Army, whose distinction of performance and office led to his reappointment, the renewal of his tenure, only a couple of weeks back. Mr. Chairman, sir, ladies and gentlemen, please let's join our hands together and welcome General Mohammed Buba Marwa. General Marwa is the chairman of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Congratulations, sir, on the renewal of your term. We wish you greater successes and service to the land. We have with us also in the hall this morning, very quickly, another distinguished Nigerian who's been recording massive gains, for the country in the arena of public service. He was at the University of Ilorin as Vice Chancellor. He revolutionized that institution in the course of duty. And then he came to the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, and repeated this same culture of excellence. Today, he's a reference point in integrity and honor in public service in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ishaq Oloyede is with us. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We have with us also the Director General of the Legal Aid Council, Barrister Aliyu B. Abubakar. Thank you, sir, for coming. The former Chief Judge of the FCT, Justice Ishaq Bello, is with us. Thank you, my lord, for coming this morning. I'd like to also quickly announce that Bishop Matthew Hazan Kuka, the Catholic Bishop of the Sokoto Diocese, is supposed to be with us. He's been a role player thus far in the process of putting this together, but he's been unable to make it and is represented by Esrom Ajania. Please welcome. I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of my Lord Justice Suzetta Wike of the Court of Appeal. My Lord, thank you for joining us. Okay, we'll let you know when she comes to the hall. And, okay, we will make further announcements as we proceed in the course of this event. Let's just step forward very, very gallantly at this point. And what I'd like to just quickly do now, is to welcome for the purpose of the welcome address. I have tried to say welcome to you, but somebody has the responsibility to formally receive you to this event. And that's our beloved sister, the widow of the author, Buni Boy. She's done so much of work behind the scene, putting this together. Yesterday, we were together with Professor Kinshe George, and Prof mentioned that he is delighted about the strength of this woman, that the fact that this occasion is a possibility today is evidence of that divine strength. So we'd like to thank God for strengthening and for keeping her. Right now, she will have the pleasure and the honor to welcome you all to this event. Mrs. Niyi Ayoola-Daniels.
Thank you very much. Stories are the bridges that connect our past to our future and the light that guides us through the darkest paths. Good morning, His Excellency, May Malabuni, COMN, Executive Governor, Yobe State, who will be ably represented by the Chief of Staff of Bono State, by Chief of Staff of Yobe State. The Attorney General of the Federation, Latif Ofagbemi SAN, my amazing boss, whose exemplary leadership, marked by empathy, unwavering consideration, has provided invaluable strength and reassurance to me and my family. Sir, I remain profoundly grateful for your guidance and compassion extended to my family and I in this trying phase of our lives. I'll never forget how you stood by us. Thank you, sir. The chairman, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buwa Marwa, retired OFRU, who brought into this vision a lot and graciously accepted to be a guest speaker and guided us all through the way. Thank you, sir. Chief Akinlolu Olujimi, SAN, a great father and father to my husband, and the chief presenter of Buni Boy. I remember that the Saturday before this event of my husband passing on Tuesday, my husband actually took me to your office and said, I just want to come and thank Chief Olujimi. And I was wondering, usually I would have queried him that on a Saturday, you can see him on Monday. But somehow, that last 1 month, I was just respecting everything he was saying because I kept seeing the glory of God upon him and I was wondering what's happening, what's this transformation? You know, and he said, let's go and greet him. And we went. He was not around. We waited for an hour and we saw him and they were so joyful, so playful. And he said, I just want to appreciate you. Thank you, sir, for being there for us, for your guidance to ensure the realization of this event. Chief Adegboyega Awolomo, SAN, our chairman, Awomolo, SAN, our chairman, we are honored to have you here, sir. We really appreciate this. Thank you, sir. The registrar, CEO JAM, Professor Isha Koloyede, it's an honor to have you here, sir. To my spiritual leader, Pastor Tunde Benjamin Slaniyi, thanks for being awesome. You and your wife, for your support that has known no bounds. Thank you very much, sir. Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, Professor Akinshaya George, Honorable Justice Dr. Ishak Bello, Dr. Christopher Otabo, who wrote the foreword. They wrote the foreword to Buni Boy, and the editor, Mrs. Iyabo Oniko. We appreciate you all. Thank you very much. And to every esteemed guest here present, who I have not mentioned but not intentionally excluded, as I will not want to keep you longer than necessary, a big thank you and a really heartfelt appreciation for every form of support you have rendered to my husband and I for taking your time to be here on a Saturday morning rather than staying home to get a good rest. God bless you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the family of the late Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, the Suleimans, and the organizing committee, I'm deeply honored to say good morning and warmly welcome you to this historic public presentation of the Buni Boy. A deep desire my husband had and something I had great passion working on. Today is not merely the launch of a book. It is a homecoming of memory, courage, and purpose. It is a celebration of a life lived with conviction, passion, and service. Above all, it is the rebirth of a story that must never fade. The Buni Boy is no work of fiction. It is a true life chronicle, raw, compelling, and unforgettable, following the journey of an 18-year-old boy from Lagos to Maiduguri. Along the way, he encounters danger and injustice, kindness and survival, and Nigeria in all our complexity. Through these experiences, he discovers the fragile threads that bind us as a nation and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The boy would grow up into the man we honor today. my dearly beloved husband, mentor, and sweetheart, Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, a distinguished legal scholar, author, humanitarian, and tireless advocate for justice. Sweetheart, though you are not here physically today, your legacy lives on. Your words and teachings are deeply ingrained in my hearts and in the hearts of our lovely children. Tomi Love, like you call her, and Toby the great guy, as you fondly call them. Indeed, you have sown many great seeds that are already germinating. Thank you for living so intentionally. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this book, The Buni Boy, reveals the roots of Niyi's resilience. It shows why he believed so much in the power of law, the integrity of the bench, and the duty to protect the vulnerable. It uncovers the seeds of empathy that shaped his life's mission. It is not only about the past, but it also heralds the beginning of something lasting, the Buniyadi Foundation. This foundation will preserve his legacy, uphold the values he lived by, and harness storytelling as a force for healing, unity, and reform. It stands as a bridge between pain and purpose, between memory and movement, between one man's journey and the collective hope of a nation. Through the Buni Boy and his forthcoming film adaptation, scripted by Tunde Babalola, a Nigerian award-winning screenwriter in Nigeria's screen cinema and British television, notable for writing movies such as The Last Flight to Abuja, Critical Assignment, October 1st, and Citation. We open a new chapter of national reflection, a chapter that calls us to rethink justice, embrace diversity, protect the innocent, and build a future where every Nigerian, regardless of tribe or creed, has a voice and a chance. As we gather here, surrounded by family, friends, scholars, legal luminaries, community leaders, and lovers of literature, we celebrate not just a book, but a legacy. One that reminds us that diversity is not a weakness, but a strength. And that echoes the author's timeless words. Our diversity is not a barrier, but a bridge. One that carries us towards a stronger nation. Another of his favorite slogans is, humanity has no religion. Humanity has no tribe. I sincerely thank you all for honoring his memory with your presence. Thank you for standing with us as we launch this story into the world. And thank you for believing, as he did, that storytelling can transform a generation. With great joy and gratitude, I welcome you once again to the public presentation of The Buni Boy. May today inspire us, strengthen us, remind us of the power of the human spirit. When we share our stories, we do not just tell the world who we are, we help shape what the world can become. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Letitia Ayoola-Daniels, the widow of the author whose work we are launching this morning. I'd like to please quickly make a recommendation. That there is anyone in this room who hasn't written a book, please start one today. The reason is because there are only a few legacies that a man could leave that can be more significant than a book. A book never dies. The man who writes a book never dies, because the book will continue to move from hand to hand, from generation to generation, from one location to another, across the world. And the views and visions you envisage and that you postulate will go on and continue to be part of the elements for the shaping of life and living across times. So today we have the beauty of that Niyi Ayoola-Daniels lives forever by reason of the book that he has written. In the next 100 years, people will still hold the book in their hands and read, and his name will continue to re-echo. Shakespeare was long dead. Today, he's more alive than most of us who are on the earth, in spite of hundreds of years of his demise. And that's the significance of a book. So please, let's bear that in mind. The book Buni Boy is a significant one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is a significant one, and it's about the conversion of power. Pain is a kind of power. Purpose is power. Now, What he recommends in this book is the conversion of the power of pain to the power of purpose. And also let us know that the elements of our diversity, at the end of the day, are the markers of the beauty of our nation. They're not actually tools for segregation. No. They represent the beauty of our nation because our unity within those diversities is truly remarkable and represents our best. So thank you very much, sir. We have a gentleman in the hall, please, very quickly, who I don't even know how to introduce him at this event, whether as a guest or as one of the hands behind the scene that powered this publication and this event. And that's Professor Yemi Akinseye George, SAN, sir. We still met in his office yesterday. We were working on how to make this very glorious. He is a close associate and personal friend of the author, and I understand one was the other's best man at his wedding. Who was whose best man? He was your best man. So that means the two of you are best men. Thank you, sir, for your efforts in this exercise. God bless you very richly. We have a few more guests arriving. We want to thank you all for coming. We earlier recognized my Lord, Justice Suzetta Wike. She hadn't come in the morning. Now she's seated. Thank you, my Lord. We also have here this morning Barrister Damian Dodo, SAN. He's just joined us in the hall. Barrister, thank you for coming in. We have directors from the Federal Ministry of Justice who are both here to support their colleague, the wife of the author, but also to provide backdrop support for the Honorable Minister of Justice. All directors from Minister of Justice, we welcome you. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all here this morning. Would recognize more of our guests in the course of this event. But at this moment, please, let's take one giant leap forward, good quality leap indeed, by receiving from the guest speaker at this event, who will be looking at unity and strength in Nigeria's diversity. He is the former military administrator of Lagos State and chairman of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, OFR. Thank you, sir. Oh, did I? Oh. Please pardon me. Baba, I apologize, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We will now receive the remarks of our chairman. I was supposed to have been in his house, and a matter of days now I haven't. So yesterday I told them that Baba will catch me today, finally. The Ba Mofi and the Shiwaju of the Bajoland, Baba Solomon Adikboyega Awomalo, SAN.
Your Excellencies, may I recognize the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasunkanmi Fagbemi, SAN, Life Bencher. And with your permission, I rest on the existing protocols as established. But I'd like to request that just as the Anchorman requested us to be a little more alive, can you please shake the hand of the man next to you and say, may it be well with you. May it be well with you. May your end be greater than your birth. May your end be greater than you imagine. Thank you. Thank you. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the public presentation of Buni Boy, an unending story, a compelling true life narrative that beautifully captures resilience, hope, and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Today, we are gathered not merely to unveil a book, but to celebrate a story that speaks to the very soul of our nation. It is the story of a young Yoruba boy, Adeniyi, whose life took an unexpected turn on his journey from Lagos to Maiduguri, one that tested his courage, his faith, and his determination to survive against overwhelming odds. Within the pages of Buni Boy, I must confess I've not read it all, but I saw a copy yesterday and I perused it to about 56 page. So don't let me say that I have not read it all, but I have had an idea of what the book is all about. Within the pages of Buni Boy, we encounter the richest and complexities of Nigeria's diverse cultural fabric. We confront the painful realities of prejudice, intolerance, and the destructive pull of extremism. Yet, we are equally uplifted by the warmth of a community that stood solidly with him, and by the profound power of forgiveness, reconciliation, and the triumph of humanity over hate. This book is more than the chronicle of one man's journey. It mirrors the collective experiences of many Nigerians. It challenges us to rise above division. It invites us to embrace the values of empathy, unity, and mutual respect, values that are urgently needed in our nation and our world today. The anchorman said, I had my NYC in Kwara State in 1978, which is true. When I was posted to Kwara State as a copper, I resisted it. You know, the prejudices, Unlole Gambari. So there was that fear. My mother said they should put me to Lagos or Abeokuta, her home state, so that my existence could be assured. And I said, take me to anywhere, I will go there. And to the glory of God, I lived in Kwara State from 1978 till 2010 when I moved to Abuja. I had my first house there. I had all my children there. Everything that God gave me as a lawyer, I got them in Kwara State. Sorry? I say everything that I am today. Oh, I'm celebrating Kwara anywhere, any day. And if not the privilege or opportunity of the NYC, I probably would not have been in Kwara State. So I want to say that we need to continue to encourage this relationship, harmonious relationship, and respect for our culture. As we celebrate this remarkable publication, I invite every one of us to reflect deeply on the lessons embedded in the narrative. Let us draw from Adeniyi's story the courage to confront injustice, the humility to embrace diversity, and the commitment to build a society where every person, regardless of tribe, faith, and background, can thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you once again to this special occasion as we celebrate our brother. Thank you, and let celebration begins. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, our chairman, Chief Adigboyega Awomalo, S.A.N. I'm a very young man, but I can testify to what I said. I knew him as a young, sprightly, brilliant, sprightly young lawyer. Tunjarosan Yanko, Sabuke, Niloni, in those early days, sir. But thank you very much, sir. Sir. Sorry, a slight adjustment in the schedule with due apologies to General Marwa. The Attorney General of the Federation and the Honorable Minister of Justice has made a major sacrifice to be with us this morning. He had to actually defer a critical international flight to be able to honor this event, and now he needs to just proceed on that obligation. So I ask that we please join hands together to make it easy for him by letting us please invite him now for his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman of this occasion, and I'm happy about your recognition and acknowledgement of what God has done for you in Kwara and generally, and what you will continue to do. I'm not going to reveal any secret. Your properties are still there. Okay. Your Excellency in absentia, my lords, the former Chief Judge of High Court of Federal Capital Territory, my noble Lord, Honorable Justice Wike. When she came, she went behind to sit quietly. That's not your place. This is your place. Thank you very much. Very distinguished colleagues of the inner and outer bar. I have seen people like Ogadimi and Dodo. I know it is not easy to bring you out. But brother and friend, the departed Ayoola, came, saw, and conquered. It's not how long, but how well. And the result of, what we are seeing today is the result of the exam that he wrote. Don't ask JAMB what the exam is about. I'm just telling you that all his activities is contributions and how to mentor and inspire the junior and upcoming ones, including even those who are old, is the reason why we're here. And I welcome you all. I want to thank you for coming. I want to appreciate Mrs. Daniel Ayoola. It is not always that after the departure of a spouse that you get strengthened. But I thank God that he has strengthened you. And I like the courage you have brought into life after the departure of your husband. You have taken the bull by the horn, and I appreciate that greatly. I appreciate that. And I also want to appreciate those who have been giving you support. There are many have been mentioned, many can't, others may not be. Professor Oloede was not to be here. You were in my office the other day and told me, oh, you had invited Professor Oloede and all that. Then Chief Olujimi, the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, said, okay, if that be the case, can you also put a call through to Professor Oloede and remind him? I sent a message to Professor Oloede, who later called me and said, I don't have an invitation card. Then I had to regulate and say, it now turned to an oral invitation. Thank you. Thank you, Professor, for coming. We must also celebrate somebody, and that is the chairman of NDLE. You know what miracle I would say, he has been performing. So when his reappointment came, many people said, oh, they should have announced it even earlier than now. You have done wonderfully well, so I thank you for coming. My noble Lord, the family policy, what is the policy, the head, my noble Lord, Honorable Justice Wike, yes? Yeah, do you have it? We know how Yes, thank you. I know we can't get a better material than you to hold and head that the association. Thank you. My mother in Israel, I recognize you. Everyone here, including the heads is under the Federal Ministry of Justice. I recognize, I appreciate you for coming. I am sorry to go. But I would not have forgiven myself if I was absent from this occasion. I was to go with British Airways this morning, but the consequence or consequences that will attach to postponing it is that you have to go to Lagos. I don't mind that one, but at least I have shown my presence. Now I have I have my Lord, the former Chief Judge of the Federal High Court of Federal Capital Territory, but there is a Justice of Court of Appeal who has just told me enrollment of order is ready, that you don't go out until after this event. My Lord, I have conveyed the message. Thank you. Our dear friend and brother, Ayoola, has gone through a lot. It is after the reading of the book that you appreciate how much contribution he has made in life to the development, I would say, the mentoring and trying to encourage others who are coming. The taste of the pudding is usually said to be in the eating. I want you to continue to be patient until the end of this program. My colleague and one of my very able lieutenants in the ministry, Oloyede, will still stand in for me. I'm not talking of Oloyede, professor of JAMB. I'm talking of lawyer, Barrister Oloyede. He only happens to be the son of the JAMB chairman. So he will stand in for me. So I want to thank you all for honoring our brother and friend. May God continue to honor you all. Have a lovely Saturday and a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can you be seated as the Attorney General makes his way out of the hall? Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a great honor this morning. The Attorney General says everyone should return to the seat, including those who want to walk him to the car. Thank you very much, sir. We wish you safe skies as we proceed. In the meantime, please, can we just step forward now and receive the address of the guest speaker, finally this morning, who will be speaking to the unity and the strength of this country as functions of our diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, the outstanding chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, sir.
chairman of the occasion, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo San. I'm also the Soludero of Egbaland. Respected dignitaries, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. My topic this morning is on unity and strength in our diversities as Nigerians. It is appropriate for me to begin my speech by expressing my sincere appreciation to the family of Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels and to the organizing committee of this august occasion. I am grateful for the privilege of being invited to the official launch of the book, The Buni Boy. Today holds a special significance for me due to the profound and compelling nature of this gathering. What moves me most is not only the book itself, but also the life of its author and what that life represents. It speaks to the unity and strength woven through our diversity as Nigerians. To many people, the author's narrative may seem distant, almost unreal, as if drawn from another world. Yet, those of us who grew up in the 1960s know it as lived truth. I am 72, by the way. The experience captured in the narrative mirrors the country we once walked through with unguarded hearts. The story stirs my memories and reminds me of a time when life was plain in its blessings and people showed more kindness in their daily dealings. Today, I am not here to retell the story, for it stands strong on its own. Instead, I will reflect on its core theme to remind Nigerians of this era that our diversity is not a burden, but a gift and a trust that we must safeguard. I have personally long been an advocate of unity in diversity and of the strength that rises from it. Hence, today's occasion provides me an opportunity to further amplify the message. The Nigeria of my youth understood its own diversity, even in the troubled days of the 1960s, when the Civil War raged through this country. I recall my teenage years at the Nigerian Military School, NMS, Zaria, where the boys came from diverse ethnic backgrounds. It was never a school for northern boys alone. No, not a school for Hausa, Fulani, Kanuri, Tiv, or Idoma. It was a school for all ethnic groups in Nigeria. Whether you spoke Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo, we regarded ourselves as a kin. I recall as if it was yesterday, that night in 1970, when our boys of Igbo ethnic origin returned to the school after the Civil War ended. There was great excitement and tears, especially for those who discovered that their own boys had been killed during the war. Our teachers in NMS also reflected the same broad mix. For instance, from 1966 to 1970, which was the period I attended Nigerian Military School, the commandant of the NMS was a Yoruba officer, then Colonel T.B. Ugundeko of blessed memory. We didn't see him as a Yoruba man. We saw him as a Nigerian, a man with whom we have a shared identity. We had Captains Omojokun, who taught us physics, Captain Oduni, who taught us mathematics, Captain Odunaya, who taught us English, Captain Ogunibido, who taught us literature, Captain Daramola, who taught us science. We had Captain Abasa, who taught us history, Captain Akpan, taught us chemistry, and so on and so forth. We saw them all as Nigerians with no tribal colorations whatsoever. And before attending Nigerian Military School, I had my primary education all over. In Zaria, I attended the Army Children's School. In Enugu, the Apapa Municipal School. In Abeokuta, Olumo Primary School in Lafenwa. And in Lagos, where I attended the Ikeja District Council School. This was the result of my father's mobile life as a soldier. By the way, my grandfather also was in the army. And my son is a full colonel. Living in different socio-cultural settings taught me early that people of other tongues and traditions are still my own. That truth has stayed with me ever since. The Nigerian Army, where I served for over 30 years, is built on a foundation of unity, and the ideal of one Nigeria shapes its work. That experience only strengthened my conviction. As an officer, I served across the country and built bonds that cut through the artificial barriers created by our socio-cultural differences. In the Army, intermarriages and close fellowship pushed us to look past ethnic lines and stand together as one. In any case, you had no choice. When the enemy bullets are coming, it does not distinguish between a Hausa man or a Yoruba soldier or a Fik. And so in the army, you are one. You live and fight together as comrades. You watch each other's back. On a personal note, my life has taught me that the diversity of this country enriches us. It sharpens our understanding of one another. It strengthens the fabric of our shared experience. It unites far more than it divides, whatever the voices of doubt may say today. In my private and professional life, I have always embraced the full breadth of Nigeria's diversity. My friends come from every corner of the country. I have worked with people of all ethnicities. The people around me, even today, reflect the wide spectrum of our multi-ethnic nation. The chieftaincy titles that I hold, more than 30 in number, show that same reach. Even my own family reflects our national mix. Wherever I stand in this country, whether among the Ogoni, and I'm the Mene Yereba one of Ogoni land, or Bachama, among Igbo or Idoma, anywhere at all, I'm at home. That is not to say we are not with challenges. As the most populous black country on earth, with as many as over 300 ethnic groups, a humongous population of over 230 million has its ramifications. So, as a country, we face real and significant challenges, many of them rooted in how poorly we have managed our diversity. But these difficulties cannot justify any idea of tearing the nation apart. We should look at India with 1.4 billion population. It is a mosaic of racial, ethnic, and linguistic diversities, and in fact, the most culturally diverse country on earth. So, we cannot escape diversity. George Herbert Mead reminds us that society is unity in diversity. Therefore, our challenges should push us to repair the fault lines and pursue greater inclusion. Because, as Andres Tapia said, diversity is a mix, and inclusion is making the mix work. Now, let me return to the Buni boy. Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels is no longer with us, but his legacy lives on. The Buni Foundation keeps his ideals alive. I must say that the real-life story told in the book resonates deeply with me. This is not only because I once served as the military governor of the old Borno state, where Buni was then located, but also because I personally know the family of the noble Alkali, the judge whose sense of duty anchors the book and shaped the author's life. It is also because the transformation of an 18-year-old boy in the 1960s and the wisdom of a judge who held firmly to justice reflect the very heart of the Nigerian spirit. Today, we hear many discordant claims about Nigeria being a mismatch, about our tribes being incompatible, and about breaking up the country as the only solution. Most of these arguments are red herrings. Yet, I have found something worth noting. For instance, I respect the Yoruba anywhere I see a Yoruba man. You know why? When I was sent to serve in Lagos State in 1996, this was at the heat of the anti-Abacha period, and Nadeko was at its height. And first I said, what a place for a northerner and time for now to go and serve. I also thought that Lagosians will say, yeah, they have sent a Hausa man to come and finish us, finally. I received the hostility that I expected. They demonstrated a strong sense of justice by allowing me to prove myself. And I could never forget that gesture. I remember putting that to the test during probably my most trying period as military administrator when Abiola died. The issue of going to pay a condolence visit was a big worry because people couldn't get through, to the house itself. Least of all the military, which I represented, because of, you all know, there was a lot of disturbances throughout Lagos within that period. And I remember that day in particular, it was a Friday. I had closed from the mosque, and I said, no. I must go and pay condolence visit. And the CNN, BBC, all these international media who had been unable themselves to go, latched onto my convoy. As we were approaching the streets, the protocol and security people ran back and stopped our convoy. And they said, Your Excellency, don't go to that place. You will not come out. And now was a moment of decision. I looked at my back and I saw CNN, BBC, all these international people tagging along. And I said, but if I turn back now, that would be a bad signal. And I said, no, let's go. And when we arrived a good 200 meters from the gate, we had to stop because of crowds. And a lot of area boys at that time. I got out of the car. We pushed our way as close as we could to the gates. At that point, the Commissioner of Police and Director SS said, sir, don't advance further. Let's just go back. I said, no. We're already here. We must enter and pay our respects. And to the glory of God, suddenly, until today, I don't know exactly what happened, the crowd changed as I chanted my name. And then they said, but only me will be allowed. No escort, no police commissioner, no SS, nobody. And of course, they said, if we don't go together, I should not go into that place. But I took the risk. I dismissed them all, and I went alone. They opened the gate, and I went inside. And you can imagine in this intense moment that the largely Yoruba community there that was still incensed with the sudden death of Abiola, they still gave me that chance to go inside. And I was a soldier. And so I paid back to Lagosians when it was time for elections for me to hand over. Apart from the head of state himself, General Abdul Salam Abubakar, a fine gentleman, godly and good Muslim, he did not tell me what to do. But I'm telling you today, the military hierarchy, the country was watching the campaigns for governorship. And it was clear that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaigned very hard, and he was the most popular candidate. And they told me, don't hand over to that man. Because he was Nadeko personified and chased the military day and night and wanted us out of power. And I saluted to my superiors. I said, don't worry, sir. But I went back and did what was right. Because he won the election fair and square, and he took over at the time. Look closely at the Super Eagles whenever they perform at their best. In those moments, we see them simply as Nigerians, a true reflection of who we are. take the team that won gold at the Atlanta 1996 Olympics, the Dream Team. Its players came from different ethnic groups across the country. We can still recall a few names like Daniel Amokachi, Mobi Oparaku, Taslim Fatusi, Victor Ekpeba, Emmanuel Amunike, Kanu Wankwo, Joseph Dosu, Celestine Babayaro, and Taribo West. No one viewed them as a Yoruba team, an Igbo team, a Hausa team, or an Idoma team. They were the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and their strength came from the range of skills and stamina that their diversity made possible. In unity of purpose, they were able to defeat Brazil in the semifinal and Argentina in the final. I was defense advisor in our mission in New York at the time, and I watched the game live. Distinguished guests, the onus is on us to rediscover the strength of our diversity as one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world. On that note, let me conclude by calling everyone here today to take action. In doing so, I will borrow the words of Maya Angelou, and I quote, "It is time for parents to teach young people early on, that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength," unquote. Simply put, the quote emphasizes the importance of raising our children to appreciate and value differences by teaching them about diversity from a young age, thereby fostering empathy, unity, and a society that is enriched and strengthened by its diverse members. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to be grateful this moment to General Marwa for those illustrative and the deep exposures. Thank you, sir. Well, I am a Nigerian journalist with about 41 years exposure, and I have a tiny exposure also to law. So you can imagine what both predisposes me to do in the context of curiosity. And I had always told myself that any day I see General Marwa, I have one question for him. And that's to ask that, how many Keke Marwas do you have? That will make a good headline for some of our soft sales. We'll follow up on that and get your answer. I'd like to please quickly acknowledge the Director General of the Copyright Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Hussein, who is with us here. Thank you, sir, for coming. Niyi Ayoola-Daniels belongs to the 1987-88 class of the law school, and a number of his classmates are here in the hall this morning to pay their respect. Please, I'd like to thank you and welcome you wherever you are. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Danladi Plang, Director of Programs at the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, ROLAC, thank you for coming. Mr. Hawa Abubakar is here with us. Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Lanayi. Where is Dayo? Thank you, Dayo. Good to see you again. my sister and my friend. The Lord Justice Ibia Bunike and his wife. My Lord, thank you for joining us. You're welcome. We also to receive Mrs. Augustina Abba and Hajia Halima Turaki of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. Thank you for coming. All these law people are here today. You know, they say when the policeman blows whistle, no other policeman will respond. The rest of us won't understand the language, but police, no police. So law, no law. So all of you are please welcome from the industry. Thank you for your support to Mrs. Ayoola-Daniels and your respect to Pastor Niyi Ayoola-Daniels. Now we will just, just a few more of our guests, please. Those who left their businesses to join us, please let's honor them quickly. Abdul Jima, a class of 1988 Unilag and classmate of Niyi. Okay? Thank you, sir, for joining us again. We have Mrs. Okay Chuma Chinye. Thank you for coming. Brother Kende Aina, S-A-N. Thank you, sir, for coming. The Attorney General of Borno State, Barrister Hawa Abubakar, is in the hall. Barrister Hawa, thank you, ma, for coming. It's an honor to have you, ma. Thank you very much. Sonye Alana is also here with us. Thank you for coming. The Mandate Secretary of for Women and Children in the FCT is with us. Thank you for coming. Oh, Dione now. Okay. Okay, Dione, welcome again. Welcome all the time. We have Ezekwem from the National Center for State Courts. Okay. Please, where are you? Okay, thank you for joining us. We will recognize some more persons as we wax forward. Please permit me to, at this moment, yield to something which itself is another fundamental legacy of Niyi Ayoola-Daniels. The Buna boy tells a story of his legacy. Buni boy, thank you, ma. And there are three legs of Buni boy to consider. The very experience of Barrister Niyi in the context of that event, the intervention of Alkali Kiari Imam, and of course the values and the essence that Barrister Niyi is canvassing from that exposure in this book. But besides that, there's a slightly deeper legacy of the gentleman, and that's in the context of Oluwatobi. What's that nickname again? What is it? The man himself. The great guy. Barrister Niyi fondly calls Oluwatobi the great guy. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great guy.
This is the citation for Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, my mentor, my love, my teacher, and my beloved father. The chairman of this occasion, kindly permit me to stand already on existing protocol. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a privilege and a great honor to stand before you elder statesmen, distinguished personalities, dignitaries, my elders, my fathers and mothers today, to speak about a remarkable man, my dearest father and friend like no other, Niyi Ayoola-Daniels. My dad was a God-fearing man, a distinguished legal scholar, an expert in energy and oil and gas law, a respected academic, and an accomplished author. His 2-volume work, Nigeria's Laws, Cases, and Materials on Oil and Gas, remains one of the most authoritative texts in the field. But beyond the titles and accolades, there was something even greater about him. My father believed with all his heart that Nigeria's strength lies in its diversity. This conviction came from a life-changing experience he had as a young man in 1983. An experience he later captured so powerful in the book that we're launching today, Buni Boy, and his movie already scripted and copyrighted Buni Boy Rams to the Slaughter. Years later, when the tragic massacre at the federal government college, Buniadi, shook the nation, that belief in unity and compassion was reignited. My father did not respond with despair. Rather, he responded with purpose. He founded the Buniadi Foundation to support displaced and undeserved families and communities. Through this foundation, he fed families in IDP camps, provided medical care and life-saving surgeries, supported boys in remand homes, and awarded scholarships that changed trajectories of young lives. Our first Buniadi Foundation Secondary School graduate, Ibrahim Zakaria, graduated September 2025 and hopefully will move on to university next year. My dad, Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, also championed youth empowerment. He established a strength in a diverse football club to unite young people through sports and created strength in diversity clubs in schools to teach tolerance, understanding, and mutual respect. And because justice and fairness mattered deeply to him, he paid fines to help release inmates who couldn't afford freedom and supported legal access for juveniles in borstos, giving children a chance to rebuild their lives with dignity. Through all these acts, quiet and consistent and deeply compassionate, my father showed us what patriotism really looks like. He proved that one person, guided by empathy and conviction, can make a lasting difference. Buni Boy is not just a story, it is his message to all of us. That Nigeria can heal, grow, and thrive when we choose unity over division and compassion over indifference. And now, on behalf of my family, it is my honor to present his book, a reflection of his heart, his courage, and his unshakable hope for our nation. Please watch this video because no one can tell my dad's story better than he did, with so much passion and empathy. Thank you very much for honoring my dad and my family. We deeply appreciate all of you here today. My dear mother, I am so proud of you for being strong enough to put this together. You were so courageous. Thanks for ensuring that my father's legacy lives on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A man leaves behind a son like this. There isn't much loss, isn't it? Yeah, he hasn't lost much. And so we thank God for that. But I hope you heard a few of what he said. Because some people just be nodding, okay, we are, I don't hear, just they go. I live with this all my life, so I know your pain. I know what you went through. My daughter just graduated in neuroscience from Newcastle, and each time we speak, she would just say, so one day she would just like, Daddy, you didn't hear me. Oluwatobi, thank you very much. All the time. Thank you. In this event, a number of speakers have made allusions to the strength and the resilience of Mrs. Letitia Ayoola-Daniels, especially for finding the strength to quickly rise from the mourning of her husband to drive this project and bring it to a conclusion and make this event today a possibility. Yeah, thank you very much. One thing we hadn't done is to celebrate that courage as an inspiration so that she can go forward with greater energy. So can you just please 100 guys once more for her? Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations, madam. And like we say here in Nigeria, well done. Well done, well done, well done. Well, thank you. The story, thank you. The story of Buni Boy has been succinctly captured in this book that we're presenting today. Virtually nothing more to add. But I can assure you that you won't get the story from the book like you will get it from the man who wrote the book. Because the passion would not be as real in the book as it would be practical in the narration of the man who wrote the book. So we put a video together where the author, Barrister Niyi Ayoola-Daniels, in his own words, by himself, live on video, presented the story of Buni Boy. We will at this moment like to please share that video with you. Please just turn to our screens. There's one here. There's another there. Sorry, technical. Is that other video going to run? I was wondering if the other screen was also to come alive. It was supposed to serve those who are in this wing of the hall.
In 1983, while I was in secondary school, I was doing my A-levels, the second half of the A-level, that's the upper six. And at that time, my elder brother and my sister, they were students of University of Maiduguri. At that time, my elder brother had actually graduated, while my sister was still a student at that University of Maiduguri. And back home then, University of Maiduguri was a darling university. Every one of us at home as Yoruba living in Lagos, even though I was born in Abeokuta, but I grew up in Lagos. The university that we all wanted to go to, particularly myself, was University of Maiduguri. And it was obvious, the reason was obvious. My brother and my sister, they made me to know how beautiful the university was, how the university took great care in ensuring that the students were well taken care of, and everything was beautiful. They kept telling me beautiful stories of Maiduguri as a peaceful town, beautiful stories of the university. As a matter of fact, the common pattern then, at home then, if you want to be made, you've got to come to University of Maiduguri. And I wanted to be made, so that was all that was on my mind. And of course, I also used to see them fly Nigeria Airways from Lagos to Maiduguri to go to school at the University of Maiduguri. So one day, my father just called me and said, "Oh, look, Niyi, you'll be traveling to Maiduguri to go deliver money to your sister. Your sister needed money urgently, and she couldn't come due to a lot of academic pressure on her. So you have to travel to University of Maiduguri." I was so elated. I said, "Wow, finally I'm going to fly by Nigeria Airways." Because at that time I'd not been on a plane before. So I was so excited. I said, "Okay, now I'm going to fly to Maiduguri." I've always wanted to go to Maiduguri. I love to see that university, that great university, because I wanted to be made to. But my father dampened my enthusiasm and said that, "Look, Niyi, this time around you are not going to fly to Maiduguri. You are going to go by train to Maiduguri." I said, "Daddy, why?" He said, "Look, Niyi, I want you to know Nigeria. You were born in Abeokuta. You grew up in Lagos. You probably thought that there are only two states in Nigeria, Ogun State and Lagos State. But Nigeria is a lot bigger than that. So I want you to know Nigeria. And the best way through which you can know Nigeria is to travel by train." I boarded the train from Lagos, Ido Terminal. We moved Lagos, Abeokuta, Ibadan, Oshogbo, Mokwa, Bida, Jeba. We kept going. Kafancha, we kept going. Everything was fine. I was able to see the vision that my father had for me to really see Nigeria, because I was able to interact with different people. Different people came on board the train, some left. So, but I bless God for the life of that alkali who shielded me. God bless the alkali. Then all of a sudden, when I least expected it, but before then, Buni boy is until if I'm 18. So, but I bless God for the life of that alkali who shielded me. God bless the alkali. Then all of a sudden, when I least expected it, I just heard the alkali look at me directly and he said, Adeni. I said, sir, Adeni. Sir, calm down, calm down. Tell me exactly what happened on the train. I was very shocked because I never expected that the alkali could speak English, because he did not dress up like an English judge. He wore this kind of canary cap and he wore a babani cap. So and the village was so remote. I didn't know that he could speak English, clear English. That English that the alkali spoke gave me hope. It was like lifesaver for me. That's how the alkali ordered 2 new sets of policemen to go to Lagos. And as I was later told, the alkali used his own money to sponsor that trip. The alkali taught me the values of the strength in Nigerian diversity. It taught me that we all belong to the common humanity of God, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, regardless of culture, regardless of language, that we all belong to the commonwealth of humanity, and that we should be each brother's, our brother's keeper. That is the lesson, the great lesson that alkali taught me. It taught me that humanity knows no tribe. Humanity knows no religion. Humanity knows no dialect. Humanity is truth in action. Humanity is justice. Justice is humanity. And that was how the policeman went to Lagos to trace my father. And they traced my father. He was able to show them a carbon copy of that letter that he gave to me. More than that, he recorded the serial number of the Naira notes that he gave to me. Perhaps he did that maybe out of instinct because of by virtue of his own training. With that direct positive evidence, they brought that report, that proof of evidence to the alkali, and alkali used that to explain the fact that justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. Because if the alkali had not ordered the policemen to go to Lagos to go and obtain evidence to prove my innocence, he will have run into trouble with the mob outside, the crowd, because they will not know the reason for releasing me. So he needed to make justice not only to be done, but to be seen to be done. Nigeria is a country of great promise, and that the strength of Nigeria lies in our diversity, in the unity of the country, and that we should use this Independent Day celebration to recognize the fact that yes, we have different challenges here and there currently going on, but the greatness of Nigeria will emerge when we begin to appreciate the diversity in our unity, and that the strength of Nigeria and the greatness of Nigeria lies in all appreciating that diversity in our unity and the strength of that diversity. Now, another lesson here for Nigeria is that just like one former American president said, do not think more of what your country can do for you. Think of what you also can do for your country.
Thank you very much. Now you saw what I meant. You saw the passion. You saw the depth of it. And you saw the drive. These are what would prepare you for what you find in Buni Boy when eventually you read a copy. So please don't leave without one today. Quickly, let's now look at the book Buni Boy by way of a review. And our reviewer this morning is well-groomed, well-positioned for this exercise from two perspectives. One, he's a scholar himself, a professor of law, and also a bosom friend of the author. So from both perspectives, he has a deeper insight into the mind of the author and, of course, into the book. May I please invite Professor Yemi Akinsheye George, S.A.N., for a review of the book.
We should appreciate the master of ceremony. Hello. Before I take the review, which will be brief, because we've already seen the story, we've had part of the story. I've been asked to recognize Mr. and Mrs. Nwogu. You're welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Nwogu. Also to clarify that Honorable the Attorney General of Borno State, Hawa Abubakar, yeah, not only in her personal capacity, but also representing His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State. I'm going straight to the conclusion of my review. We do not want to say too much about the book. You've heard much from the author's mouth. And I don't want to keep you sitting for too long. I can see my Oga, Chief Akiolujimi. He's been sitting for almost 2 hours now. That can be very difficult. Chief Awomolo. So Justice Bello and all the eminent personalities here. I also saw Labisi Shoibo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. She's still here. Mrs. Shoibo, please, you're recognized. Shoibo SAN. May we please stand up for 1 minute? Everybody, please do stand up. It's not good to sit for too long. So please stretch your arm up, exercise yourself, and wave, shake your body a little bit. I'm going straight to the conclusion of the review. You've had 70%, in fact, 50% of the story from the horse's mouth. Please clap for yourself and have your seat. This is the only opportunity to order my lords, my noble lords. Thank you so much. So the long and short of this story is that Buni Boy is a story of redemption. It shows how trauma can be transformed into a lifelong commitment to justice, national integration, and the celebration of Nigeria's multicultural identity. Let me tell you, those who are against Nigeria are fewer, but they are more vocal. Those who are against Nigeria are fewer, but they are more vocal. More vocal on the internet, spreading hate. So it is refreshing
that Buni Boy has come out at this time. You had a lecture delivered by His Excellency General Maura, and you've had Niyi Ayoola-Daniels. So those of us who believe in Nigeria should speak more. We should not allow the divisive forces to drown our voices. Let us use our various platforms and say no to hate, and say no to disunity, and say no to disintegration. That is what the Buni Boy says. Celebrating Nigeria's multicultural identity. It is an inspiring, highly readable narrative. It is not a fiction. At once personal, political, and deeply patriotic. A book worthy of classrooms, boardrooms, palaces, seats of power, public discussions, and we should endeavor to get a copy to the hand of every Nigerian who believes that Nigeria can and will be better. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Yemi Akinsheye George, SAN, has not only been the one who had the enviable task to review this book, he's been a formidable hand in the process of putting this event together. He's been formidable. He's been remarkable. He's been remarkable. He has been our central processing unit for the planning of this event. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you, sir. The Lord strengthen your right hand. In Jesus' name. And he's a very smart man. Anyway, how can you be an SAN if you're not smart? He presupposes that you are. It's not every day that you have an opportunity to order a judge to do one thing or the other. So Prof saw the opportunity today and he took it with good hands. So if in the next 5 years you don't get the break again, you'll be managing this one. Thank you very much, sir. Now we are at a very crucial point of this event. As a matter of fact, this is the heartbeat of the event. The formal launch of the book Buni Boy. And our chief presenter this afternoon, Buni Boy, Abi. See, that's the problem. When you are too playful, you get into trouble. All the while when we're working on this, I just jokingly always said, Buni Boy. Now I don't care and come open space. Please bear with me. Our chief presenter is someone with a like mind with the author, being also a tremendous lawyer of serious substance. So he has an idea about how the mind of the lawyer works. So this morning, the former Attorney General of the Nigerian Federation and Honorable Minister of Justice, Chief Akinlolu Olujimi, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is our chief presenter. May I please have him on the microphone? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, you will please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Well, there is probably nothing left for me to say that you haven't heard. You've also watched video presentation. You see, by the author. We all know what the book is all about. My business here is to lead us into that big part of our gathering here today. I hope the books are near me here. So we will first unveil. Let them come on there. Help us here. Is it? Okay. Can we move it a little bit? I want some people to join me here in presenting.
Please come. Sorry.
Let's move it forward. More. I want humbly to invite the chairman to join us here, General Marwa. Okay. Yes, Professor Akinshaye George. Professor Oloyede. The Borno State Attorney General. My Lord Justice Wike, please join us here. And please join us here. Okay. My Lord, Honorable Justice Bello. Kehinde Aina SAN. The Director General Legal Aid and Copyright Commission Director General. Pastor Layo Benjamin, please join us. Oh, Hussein, okay. Hello, Yede. Mr. and Mrs. Wagu. Mr. and Mrs. Wagu, please join us here. Please give them copies of the book. Dr. Tabo. Dr. Tabo, please join us. Where is he? He's here, okay. Yes, once again, this is a very crucial aspect of today's gathering, as I said earlier. And I know we all came in here prepared to be part of the event. And this is the time for you to prove that. My task is to lead you in that respect. And I will not be a block. Don't say because the chairman, the chief launcher or chief presenter dropped so much, then I cannot drop more. So there's no restriction as to how much in terms of the upper level now. So if you reckon with me, you can stay above me. It pleases me. Now, we all have copies of the book, and we hereby present it to you all to the glory of our Creator and the advancement of mankind. So it is my pleasure. I'm aware of the foundation, the Buni Foundation. I have even been given an award by that foundation. So I will present the book with a sum of 10 million naira. It's a book that has to go to universities across the country. There is a lot to learn from this book. You had the video presentation by the author, but by the time you read the book, there is a lot more you see to learn from it. I have read it, and I can authoritatively say that we have a lot to learn from this book. So don't hesitate to donate copies to universities across the country, and we have so many of them. And please donate generously. I thank you all. We'll be calling on you one by one, and as you come, you will announce what you are donating towards this presentation. So please, you can go back to your seat. Those of you who are joining here. Okay. Okay.
kids, not call them.
Oh, okay.
It's like compulsion. Okay. You understand? Those who should call upon. Okay. I'll just.
I won't. I don't even. Yes, I have been guided that in relation to this part of the program, I should rather allow us to indicate, those of us who want to part of the presentation, to indicate, and then you can come up and make your presentation. And if you want also to, yes, to be anonymous, it's also allowed. So I'm expecting, and Mr. DMC, probably you handle that for me. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much, sir. So please let's just get this done rapidly and very successfully. We would first want to call on the guest of honor for this event, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, CON, FNSE, MNI. He's represented here this morning by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Borno State, Barrister Hawa Abubakar. Thank you very much, ma'am.
That's fine. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. Your Excellency, our guest speaker, the Chairman, NDLEA Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, my noble lords present here, senior advocates of Nigeria, all invited guests, the chairman of this occasion. Good afternoon, everyone. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, sends his regards. There is nothing more, nothing left that hasn't been said that I will stand here and say, but it is not out of place for me to make an emphasis that this is a significant call to appreciate our diversity as a country. This book says a lot about justice, about integrity, and it calls that it is still never too late for our justice system to be the way it should be. To my sister, our connection is a special one. It is a connection that was at first instance, and ever since we've been calling ourselves my dearest sister. I admire your strength, your determination, your courage, gathering everybody here today to come and launch this book says a lot about your determination. And may the Lord continue to give you all the strength that you require to carry it on. I've captured some of the words said by the previous speakers that Professor Akinsiye George said, in our diversity lies unity. In our diversity lies different cultures and beliefs that brings us together. And I think each and every one of us should take a time to go through this book. For me, I have heard from the horse's mouth. It is an interesting story of courage, of determination, of hope, and belief in Nigeria. Thank you so very much. I wish each and every one of us safe return to our places. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney General.
The Honorable Attorney General had earlier launched the book with a significant sum. Significant. Please, let's put our hands together for Hawa Abubakar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, was with us, SAN, but had to leave. But he left behind a representative, Barrister Oloyede. Shall we please have you? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to us all. When you are giving instructions, you have to be mindful of how you carry out instructions. Told us superior instruction, you have to go back to Lagos to actually Unfortunately, so many things are wrong with the seat that the AG did not take countenance of. One of it is that that seat is directly in front of my father and in between my father's elder brothers. So I put on that seat. General, the Attorney General has taken note of the donation of his mentor and elder brother, the former Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Olujimi. And in taking note of that, he has said he will do something very fantastic. Very fantastic, sir. He will do something very fantastic. So for him, as a public servant, he will do. Because Chief is no longer a public servant, he could comfortably announce. So for him, he will do. And on behalf of myself, I will donate the sum of 300,000. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Oloyede. The son of a very good man. So he must be a good man too. Thank you. May we please invite our father, the chairman of the occasion, Chief Solomon Adegboyega. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. The chair has already indicated his sum here. Thank you very much, sir, Baba. General Marwa, sir. That speech was inspiring. Just some financial backing.
Thank you very much. You know, Lagos always has floods. So one day in council, I asked the Commissioner for Environment, Architect Kekereku, he's now late. Yeah. And I said, where are all the millions that we gave to solve the drainages problem, flooding. He said all those millions down the drains. 2 weeks ago, we seized 1 ton of cocaine. That's worth market 360 billion naira. That's a lot of money. And you ask NDLA, where's all the money you have been seizing? And we say, up in flames. Courtesy of their lordships. So unfortunately, from NDLA, nothing will be forthcoming in this type of occasion, but I guarantee that I will personally make my voice heard to Letitia. The one other thing I want to say on this book is the uniqueness of the fact that a man who went through what he went through, because I read the book from cover to cover, normally he would not want to hear anything about Bunyad at all, ever, because of the sadness and the pain that he suffered. He will completely block that out of his life. But it's amazing that in the middle of that, he actually found something positive to say. And honestly, I doff my hat for Niyi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, we would like to know if there is a representative of the Honorable Minister of Interior in the hall. Okay. In the meantime, I'd like to please welcome the Mr. P.C. Okorie, Deputy Director General, Nigerian Law School, Enugu. Anyone representing the Minister of Interior, please? Okay. Thank you very much. At this point, may I have the honor to invite learned advocate, Dodo, sir, Demian, sir. Yes. Okay, thank you very much, sir. We had him. He transformed the University of Ilorin, and then he came to Abuja and transformed JAMB. Now he wants to transform this event. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, the transformer.
The chairman, sir, Your Excellency, and distinguished former Attorney General, my sister, that I met this morning. I was wondering why I was invited to this meeting. I kept on asking even the Attorney General, why? And when my son came and said, it's compulsory for you to attend this program today, I asked him why. He said, I just felt you should attend. And my guy also said, I should invite you. I felt that there must be something. These are reasonable people. And if they feel that I should be at an occasion, there must be a reason. So as I sit down, I was trying to locate myself. Why am I here? And I was trying to dissect everything going on carefully. And so far, what I've gotten from this is that this is a book. What I was looking for, I must confess, I didn't get. There is at a point where the author, may God bless his soul, when he was about saying what I wanted to hear, that was when the thing did not come. And it came after telling the story. And I've learned my lesson. There was a time I was somewhere near Igbajo, with apologies, sir. Shiva Humolo, very close to Igbajo. And there was this book, I was fascinated by it. And I felt I should recommend this book to all universities in Nigeria. And I said at that time we had about 150 universities. And I called my colleagues who are members of management and said, look, this book is very good. Can we buy for all? They all agreed that we should. And it was just, I think, 600, less than 1,000. So we decided to buy for all Nigerian universities. But surprisingly, I got a protest letter because there was a section of the book that castigated a particular tribe. Because I didn't read, I didn't know. I was just looking at the generality of the book, and therefore I emotionally recommended and approved that it should be bought for all Nigerian universities. That's why I was being careful because so far this appears to me as a book that must be given to at least all Nigerian universities. And I now feel that given my experience, I would rather say that we will buy 200 copies and we will give this to our people to read. And after they have read, we will then decide which university they will go and how many more copies we should buy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor Loyele. That's the globalization of our audience is significant. Thank you, sir. My noble Lord Justice Suzette Nwike. Thank you very much for your gesture. Dr. Tabo, sir. Yes, please. Is he coming? Okay, okay.
The chairman of the occasion, and everyone here represented, and those who are here in their personal capacities. I will need to recognize is it director or chairman of the NDLEA? Chairman. I thought I saw chairman. I wasn't very sure. And just to see, of course, I recognize your presence, and I appreciate your lecture you delivered here. And to round that off, I should say that I heard about you. This is my first time of seeing you in person, but I do see you on television, and I wave when I see you, hoping that you will see the wave. And then I recall that I was still a very young woman when your name was always in the news. And the story you just gave us about Lagos and being the military administrator there at that time, there was no doubt in our minds then and even now that you were very much loved by the Lagos people. And it still goes on even now that you're doing the function or the service you're giving to Nigeria. So thank you for that paper, and thank you for the value you bring to our country. Let me recognize my sis friend, as I like to call her, Letitia Niyi Ayoola. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't mix it up. Anyway, and your son. I have to say I never met her husband, but from all that she told me about him, all the beautiful things she said about him, you know, my heart really goes out to her and her children. And I want to say that somehow I've fallen in love with this woman because she's a woman of strength. And like her son said, she's carrying out the plans and a legacy for her husband. And one of the speakers here said a book is something that you know, when you put out a book, it's something that you can never be forgotten for. I like you said, we should all aspire to write books.
Yes,
I am in the process myself, and it has taken me so long, many years. It's a book for children and the law, and it's not something that I want to just rush and put out. Every day new content is coming, you know, and I'm putting more in the book, so it's growing and getting bigger. So it's not an easy task to do, is what I'm trying to put forward before all of us. So for my sister to go ahead and conclude the plans that her husband and her had put in motion, I think it is something worthy of commendation. So now, I read some part of the book. I'm not going to tell a lie, I didn't read everything. Because we have so much work to do. And taking time to read this book is a big sacrifice, because that's time I can put into something else that will progress my work. So I did a little of it, and I'm very impressed with what I've seen. So we should not only talk about university students and the adults. We should remember the children especially, because the children are the next generation, and not only that, they are our future. They're the ones that we carry on from where we have stopped when the time comes. So I believe every Nigerian child, and every child really around the world, can take a lesson, if not more than one, from this book. So I want to encourage all of us to buy the book and give it to all the children you know. There's nothing wrong with that. Any child that has come to the point of reading should be able to read and understand this. And when they don't understand it, the parents should be there to explain whatever it is that they need to hear. I see that there's some rumblings. You're getting tired of listening to me. Just no. I'm supposed to just launch and go, yes? Okay, so I just want to say something else. You know, culture is dynamic, just like the law. It changes. It doesn't stay static. It shouldn't stay static, because every time and every day, our lives are being reinvented. We're learning new things. We're seeing other people doing other things in different ways and maybe making more progress. So we too should be able to open up and also receive whatever change that is profitable and that will move us from one point to another. So we should not be afraid of change, is one thing I want to say. And this book is something that teaches us about empathy, as has been said here. And what is empathy really? It's just being kind, kindness. And one person has already said here, kindness knows no race, it knows no tribe, it knows no language, it knows no faith. Kindness is just kindness. And we should all strive to be kind, no matter wherever we find ourselves and whoever is before us. So this is a big teacher of empathy for everybody we come across. Now, as a justice of the Court of Appeal, I'm sure most of you know I'm not allowed to announce any sum, and I would rather not announce because I don't want to I wouldn't want to disappoint everybody here. You're expecting much, I'm sure, but I'm going to do a little something for my sister, and I would request that I should have at least 20 books, because I'll be giving value maybe for that and maybe more. I don't know. But I'm here now to say congratulations to you. This is a lovely ceremony. And I want to thank everyone for making time to be here. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. I guess it will be in order to say that apart from law and justice, my noble Lord Justice Suzette Wike seems to also have a children's ministry. And that's also laudable. MB Abubakar, Director, Public Prosecution of the Federation. Sir, thank you for joining us, sir. Please, do we have a representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Yobe State in the house? Yobe State Governor. Oh, please welcome, sir. Please, we're about to have and hear from the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Yobe State. You can please come, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, if you have a pledge card, we'll soon come around to pick them up, please. Just volunteer. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
on behalf of the government and good people of our state, we are pledging the sum of 5 million naira. 5 million.
Thank you very much. Our regards to His Excellency, 5 million naira. I actually thought I had 75, so I was very happy. 5 million naira from His Excellency, the Governor of Yobe State. Dr. Otabo, sir, please come to the microphone. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Chairman of this occasion, Excellencies here present, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Otabo Chris, the Medical Director of Alliance Hospital here in Abuja. The author happens to be my friend. He was once my patient and then he became my friend. And I happen also to have the privilege of writing the foreword to the book. And it looks like the distinguished Professor Oloide read about my foreword because he said exactly what I wrote on the book. I said this book is recommended for general studies in the Nigerian universities. Yes, because it's a strong force of social cohesion. Barrister Niyi also invited me to be a member of the board of the Buni Foundation, which I gladly accepted. So we've been working very closely on this project up to now. So in order not to waste much of our time, I will launch the book with the sum of 1 million naira.
Thank you very much, sir. The book launched with 1 million naira from a member of the Buni Foundation Board, Dr. Otabo. Yes, sir. DG Corporate Commission, sir. Can you have this, sir? Okay. Okay, thank you. Please, is there any of our special guests we haven't invited to the podium? Okay. Barrister Ken there, SAN, please. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Timothy Ogun, we hereby recognize, welcome, and thank you very much, sir, for coming. Also, recognition.
Abakar Kiari, it's my honor and privilege to receive this award on their behalf. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, all. All protocols duly observed. Greetings from my Halima Turaki, who is unavoidably absent. She has asked me to represent her. She's on official duties, and she asked me to pay 1 million naira, which has already been transferred. Thank you.
Please, we're still open to one or two more donors quickly. Please. Anyone else in the hall, please? Some people just walked in, that's why we are extending the window. Anyone else, please, that we need to recognize or to welcome for donation? There's nobody. Mr. Chairman, sir, Chief Awomolo, SAN, Your Excellency, the General, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you again significantly for your presence here today and for providing leadership. We're about to round off this exercise. Thank you very much. We are now taking the vote of thanks to round off this successful event. But in the meantime, please, those who need copies of their own, private, personal copies of Buni Boy, please wait behind when we round off so that we can make copies available to you, please. Thank you. So for now, the chairperson of the planning committee for this launch is Mrs. Adironke Imana. She'll be coming now to say the vote of thanks, and then we will formally have brought this to a conclusion. Thank you again for your time today and your patience. We are grateful.
Good afternoon, everyone. While standing on the existing protocol, I wish to offer a profound gratitude for your presence, for your generosity, and for being part of this beautiful event. It started like play 2 years ago, and by the grace of God, we're here today, and the book has been launched. And I want to enjoin all of us that we should not let it end here. We all know the central theme of the book, unity in our diversity, and we should let other people get the benefit of the book by introducing it to them. I would also like to offer my profound gratitude to the members of the book launch committee for their cooperation, their commitment, and their dedication throughout the planning of this event. I pray that as all of us are going back to our different destinations, the Almighty God will go with you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Please, I would like to quickly acknowledge my very dear brother and friend, Barrister Yusuf Olaolu Ali, SAN. He is represented in the hall already, and his message has been delivered. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, I request permission to close the event, sir. Thank you. Shall we rise? Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman says I should say his thank you to all of you for your patience and your time and your generosity here this afternoon. Thank you very much. God bless you all. We are saying the closing prayer by means of the Nigerian National Pledge as indicated on our program, on the back of the program. And after that, please, let's wait behind for photographs. That will be downstairs. Doing it here. He's downstairs. There's a photo stand. Yes. Thank you very much. So shall we go? I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help us God. Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you.